talking about here are very nuanced and they do take some time. But if you can actually just say, well, I just think that it's a much more Canadian thing to care for people than to kill them, that gets their attention. Also, you can contact your government representatives and officials. I think we have some information here someplace for back in the corner someplace? Okay, a table, oh, right there. A table at the back that has some letters that could be sent to our Minister of Justice, Peter MacKay, and other folks to encourage them to look at this. We published, a number of us, including Balfour Mount and others, published an open letter in the Calgary Herald on Wednesday that was asking the government to hold the line on this and talking about, you know, how also we've talked about how capital punishment, we don't do capital punishment here because we don't want even one person to die unnecessarily. And when you think about all the deliberation that goes into a decision in capital punishment, that kind of deliberation does not take place on a hospital ward, I can tell you. So if we are careful about that, we need to be careful. So just thinking about contacting your government officials, speaking out about it, talking to people that you know. I also wanted to just show you this picture of my dad with my sister and me. People would say to us, well, after my dad died, you really lost him years ago because he wasn't all there, because he had Alzheimer's. And I said, no, I didn't. My dad was still a person. He was still important to me. I didn't have access to all of who he was, but he was still important, and he was still a full person. And we need to be very careful about depersonalizing, talking about people like vegetables. Language makes a difference, and respecting everyone and caring for everyone starts with that. And this is one little thing I wrote about in terms of caring for our dad. I said, in the great sweep of human history, it is not really a circle of caring that we experience. We are carried along in a vast river of caring that flows from generation to generation to generation, buoying us up during the times when we need to be cared for and refreshing us in the seasons when we are the carers. The love we give and receive is both powerful and healing. It's time for our generations to pass along this heritage to the next ones and to protect this river from those who would destroy or diminish it in any way. So that is my feeling about this issue, that we need to keep the fullness of this river of caring, and that I saw, my sister and my brother and I saw our care for our father as a trust from our grandparents, that when they brought this little baby into the world, they trusted us, that at the other end of his life, that we would care for him. And I think that that is what it's all about, that it's so much more beautiful. It's messy, and it hurts, and it's hard, but it's so much more beautiful to love and to care than it is to be isolated and alone and to bring about death and to kill. And I hope that that will be something that we will all, as a society, that will catch our imagination, that we can actually do this, that people don't have to just be in despair and to ask for death, but that we can come alongside them and care for them. So there are some resources that are on here. There's Alex's little book and his website. There's a lot of stuff on our CMDS website that is there. There's a video, there's a PowerPoint presentation, some other things that are there. We have a magazine that's called Focus, that's our publication for CMDS, and it's available for complete download of the whole issues on a PDF format. And back in, I've got the two different ones. There is one about a Christian perspective, and then I guest edited a version of an edition of it in June of 2012. And all these things are on a sheet at the back too that I sent them. They printed it off for you, so you don't even have to get my PowerPoint. But that one is all the things about talking about it from a secular perspective. Dr. Tom Koch has an article in there. I have an article in there. And we also have an annotated bibliography in that particular journal article, that journal edition that talks about 13 really important papers like Marilyn Golden's paper, the Hendon and Foley paper, and it gives you a little blurb about each one of those. So you can have a look at that. There is a new campaign out from the Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops and the Catholic Organization for Life and Family called Life Giving Love, and there's a lot, it's in French and English. You can have access to that. The Christian Medical and Dental Associations in the U.S. has a lot of resources on their website, as does the Center for Bioethics and Human Dignity, has an extensive bibliography if you want to read more widely about even than what we've talked about. So that's there. And then in the United Kingdom, there's the Care Not Killing Network, and Dr. Tom Koch has his own website that has some very interesting things on it. And those are our 2 email addresses. So that is all that I have to say for now, and I think Larry has some things that he is going to add to this.